Greetings, friends, and welcome back to Backyard Astronomy with Gemini Brett in this Virgo lunation 2024, where we will follow the moon from new to full. Full moon in this lunation will be a lunar eclipse, so clouds allowing, we will get to see moon traveling through the shadow of Earth. So this is the second day of our follow the moon journey, but in a sense it's really day 3.4. Why do I say that? Because the moon-sun conjunction was 3.5 days ago on Monday, on Moon Day, on, I guess, what would that have been? September 2nd, 2024, if you're into that whole Gregorian trip. Yesterday we saw the moon on the other side of Venus. So between yesterday and today, moon has passed Venus by. I should say that today is September 5th, 2024, Thursday, Jupiter's Day, and it is 8:05 p.m. I'm recording from my house in Richmond, California. I wanted to get out here at the same time as I was yesterday. Now, time of day is an interesting thing. For now, we'll just do clock time, speaking about sidereal time versus solar time and such. It's a little bit beyond the scope of this particular journey. What we want to do here is simply follow the moon through the signs and constellations of the zodiac. As moon grows, as her smile grows, while she waxes away from the sun, as the angle between moon and sun opens, as their aspect increases, we will see the moon travel from the west to the east, the crescent grow once moon is 90 degrees from sun or square, to a straight line, the waxing half moon, and then on to the gibbous trine, etc. I should say that right now the sun is at 13 degrees tropical Virgo. Actually, that was yesterday. Sun is currently at 14 degrees tropical Virgo, right? Sun moves about 1 degree per day. Well, what about moon? The average travel of moon from one day to the next is 13 degrees, or about 13 1/3 degrees. Now, that word average is very important. Orbits are not circular. They are elliptical. So there are times when moon is close to Earth and faster, and times when moon is further away and slower. And right now, moon is very far away from Earth. Well, as far as the moon's thing goes. So you can see this in a chart, by the way. Moon's conjunct true black moon Lilith, which marks the lunar apogee, the place in the moon's orbit where moon is far from our planet and therefore visibly smaller, dimmer, slower. Okay, so yesterday moon at this time was at 5 degrees tropical Libra, and now moon's at 17 degrees tropical Libra. So it was moved 12 degrees. Yesterday moon was 3 degrees from Venus on the western side, so still applying to Venus, and now moon has passed Venus by. Yesterday Venus was at 8 degrees tropical Libra, and today at 9 1/4. Venus right now is moving at about 1 1/4 degrees per day. So we have to remember when we watch planets dance with one another that they're each moving according to their own speed, their own pace, their own periodicity. Tracking moon's travel, it's a bit easier to do through the so-called fixed stars, the stars of the moon's path, the stars of the zodiac. And the first zodiacs, by the way, were created this way, by following the moon. We cannot see the sun moving through the stars. We'll go blind trying by day. There's only one. But we can watch the moon and the other planets travel through the stars when skies are dark, right? And that's what we're going to be up to over the course of the next couple of weeks. So I should just say that the sun right now is at 14 Virgo, the moon's at 17 Libra. It's about a sign away, really 33 degrees away. And this is what the shape of the moon looks like when at that distance. Okay, so as the aspect between moon and sun increases, we will watch the crescent grow. By the way, you can see more than crescent here, right? You see the rest of the moon's circle. Let me get some more light and you'll see that even more. Oh, that's not working. How about one of these? There you go. So the rest of the moon that you see, that is Earthshine. And it's particularly visible when moon is in crescent phase like this. So the crescent, of course, is moon delivering sunlight to our earthly eyes. Just like the myths tell us that Diana delivered Apollo's birth. Diana, a goddess of the moon, Apollo, a guide of the sun, right? Diana's bow is a name that has long been applied to these maiden moons, these young moons, these small crescent moons, right? Yesterday we even saw a smaller one since moon was closer to the sun. Yesterday moon was, I think it was 2.3% illuminated, something like that. Let me find an app to tell me. Today, moon is 8.2% illuminated, and yesterday 3.8% illuminated. Right? So moon's growing. So that illumination means how much crescent can we see? Or other shapes like halves and gibbous. Right? The half would be 50% illuminated, the full moon 100% illuminated. So right now, definitely just a small crescent, only 8.2% illuminated. And if that illumination is sunlight reflecting off of the moon to Earth. The rest of the moon that you see, the Earthshine, that light is actually older than the crescent. How much older? The amount of time it takes light to get from Earth to the moon and back. Because the Earthshine is sunlight reflected off of Earth, then off of moon, and back to Earth, right? So the crescent that you see, sun, moon, Earth. The rest of the moon that you're looking at, sun, Earth, moon, Earth. Amazing. Do with that what you will. I mean, depending on your cosmology, what you feel the sun is, what you feel the moon is, what you feel the Earth is, there's a whole world of contemplation available in that consideration of the Earthshine being older than the crescent. Okay, let me zoom out here a bit and we will honor this proximity of these great goddesses of moon and Venus here in the sherbet of the night. Well, definitely not as bright as Venus, who is so amazing, that evening star, but in the same amount of phase or distance that Venus is to the west of moon, so to the right of moon, look to the left. And let's bring in a little bit more light. You are looking at Spica, or Spica, Chitra, a star that has many names. That star is the shaft of wheat that the priestess of the heavens holds. In our day and age, Spica, 24 degrees tropical Libra. So, when I said that the moon is at 17 Libra, that was me looking at a chart. If I wanted to learn this only from the sky, and I knew where the stars reside in the zodiac of my choice, and that for me is the tropical zodiac because I am an Earth astrologer, and the tropical zodiac is the zodiac of Earth. It emanates from something deep beneath our feet, in my opinion, or I should say in my belief. Anyway, I happen to know that in our day and age, Spica has processed to 24 degrees tropical Libra. So knowing that, I could measure the sky to find where the moon is. What degree in the sign? How do we measure the sky? Well, this isn't going to work in front of your camera, okay? Because we need to do this. I don't know if this will show up for you. At arm's length. So now my shoulder's next to the camera, but I have no idea where this is showing up on the frame. Anyway, your index finger is about 1 degree of sky. So 2 is about 2 degrees, or maybe 2.5. Because really 3, like your 3 middle fingers like this, which is the Mercury mudra, that's about 5 degrees of sky at arm's length, right? And you might say, well, Brett, my arm's shorter than yours. Well, I would bet if your arm's shorter than mine, then your fingers are also thinner than mine. So of course this is not perfect, but it's a good place to start. 1 finger is about 1 degree, 2 really more like 2.5, 3 about 5 degrees. And even there, you're like, wait, that's bad math. Okay, roll with it. The fist at arm's length is about 10 degrees from, like, you know, your index knuckle to your pinky knuckle. All right? So right now at my arm's length, I am currently putting my fist up to the moon into Spica, and I can't fit it in between the two. Like it's barely covering Spica and it's barely covering the moon. When I do my 5 degree thing, I have plenty of space between the two. So maybe my full 4 fingers, I haven't tried this one yet, but I guess that's about 7 degrees. Because I just happen to know that right now, I looked at a chart, the moon's at 17 tropical Libra, and I know Spica's at 24 degrees tropical Libra. Notice that I use many pronunciations of her name. And so it turns out, I just found out that these 4 fingers for me is about 7 degrees of sky. By the way, the kind of, the rock-on thing, about 15 degrees, and hang loose, about 25, okay? So let's try that. We just saw in the chart that the Venus is at about 9 degrees tropical Libra, which means Venus is currently 15 degrees from Spica over there. So that would be the like rock on. That's not for me. And I don't really like that sigil anyway. My hang loose, I can get it really wide, and maybe that's at 25 degrees, but kind of a comfortable hang loose for me. And I'm sure it doesn't look like this on your camera. I can't look through the viewfinder and do this at the same time, okay? But hey, plane, take it easy. Don't hit the goddess. Okay, good. Yeah, like a comfortable hang loose right now for me is touching Venus and Spica. So I just learned that what I'm calling comfortable hang loose for me, from 9 Libra to 24 Libra, well, that, my friends, is 15 degrees. All right. So maybe that's what I'll be teaching about, comfortable hang loose from now on. Okay, well, if we measure the sky, if we can find that the moon is currently 7 degrees shy of Spica, if we know Spica is at 24 degrees tropical Libra and therefore moon's at 17 Libra, if we can learn to read the shape of moon's smile, if we know that this particular phase means moon is 30 or 33 degrees away from the sun. Many work with 8 phases of the moon, from 0 to 45 degrees, from 45 to 90, right? From 90 to 135, the octiles. I like to work with 12 phases. Some cultures work with 30, a phase for every day. 12 phases, though, bring us into the shape of like whole sign aspects. So semi-sextile, 30 degrees sextile, 60 degrees square, 90 degrees, like that, right? We'll play with different practices of embodying astrological aspects sometime during the course of our journey as well. But I think we've had enough for today. I might come back out when the sky is a bit darker. Why? Because the sun will have set further beneath the western horizon. And to see if we can find the star that Moon is maybe closer to, or Venus. And, well, I can't help myself. Let's just zoom into Venus right now, because this zoom lens might show us a star that is close. Oh yeah, so you see the star that is, oh, you know what, sorry, I'm following a pixel that I guess is some kind of blemish on this camera's sensor. Bummer. Yeah, it's just too bright out, right? Oh. Are you seeing a star here above Venus? Yes. Okay. Great. So, who is that? Well, the chart showed me that Venus is at 9 degrees tropical Libra, and happen to know that in our day and age, the stars Porama and Minilauva live at those same celestial longitudes, live at 10 degrees tropical Libra. Now, Porama is much closer to the ecliptic plane, the path of the sun, and for the most part, the path of the planets, because our solar system is relatively flat. That being said, Moon snakes 5 degrees north and 5 degrees south of the ecliptic of the sun's path every month, and Venus can get up to 8.5 degrees away. She's not right now. Venus is very close to the ecliptic plane. And Venus is rather close, actually, to that star that we are gazing upon there, which is north of Venus, that appears to be above Venus in northern hemisphere skies. That is the star Porama. I should let you know that I cannot see Porama right now with my naked eye. I can see Porama because of this zoom lens. The only star of the Priestess constellation that I am currently seeing with my naked eye is Spica. And, you know, why don't we just let this roll? Let me get Venus and Moon and Spica all in the frame. I'll zoom out a bit so we have a little space to track Venus's western set. And these are the degrees of tropical Libra. Venus is setting a bit south of west. And let me bring in some more light. We're going to need more buttons for that. Let's do one of those. And even one of these, because of course, as I let this video roll, the sky's going to get darker. And I think what I'll do actually is stop this video and roll another one. So it will be part 2. And if you choose to watch that video, what I imagine you will see is more stars showing themselves as the sun sinks further beneath the western horizon. And perhaps you'll get to see more of the shape of the Priestess constellation. All right, friends, I'll be back tomorrow following the moon. Thanks for spending some time in the backyard astronomy with me. See you in space.